Hello, friends. Hello, fans of Matrix Unloaded and Dissected. So I have few points to make today, and here I did quickly catch a glimpse or a frame at 1 hour and 9 seconds exactly on my Blu-ray player, but this could be like you have to search for it. So first of all, if you saw when Neo and the posse were sitting down eating runny eggs and bowl of snot, right? And they were speculating and having fun about runny eggs and chicken and whatnot, right? What that is saying to you and the type of clothes they're wearing, and is that Zion within Zion, within is not heavens. It's really a very rigorous and Spartan lifestyle, Spartan menu and rigorous lifestyle. So you basically live for Zion and Morpheus, is what they're trying to say there. But I wanted to leave this here. Let's see. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I mean, for a minute there, I want to say he's Cypher. Doesn't look like that to me. Apot, no. This is definitely Tank, right? And this here is my monitor. I have those two monitors, so this is my monitor. Never mind that when you see it. Right? I don't know who that is, and they're Reds, and they're in the sewer. Remember when they were being searched for by the Sentinel? Sentinel, right? What is Sentinel? Let me just give you an idea. Sentinel is from sentient, meaning the artificial intelligence that becomes conscious, right? Or make it have its own consciousness or personality, artificial intelligence. So when you hear the word sentient, meaningly an artificial intelligence robot or whatever, a computer, that it has become conscious of itself. It makes its own decision. So the sentinels, here they've been attacked. Let me see. So that's point number one. Right? And there's something else here. So let's go back, see, maybe that tells us who that is. See, that is not mouse. Well, it could be mouse, but the face is definitely different than the mouse that we've seen. Right? Maybe it's mouse, I don't know.
Butterfly.
But they're red devils. Yeah, poor Neo. All right, so let me pause it and then go to that point. Okay, here you will observe something that is very interesting. Again, I'm speculating.
For what?
I mentioned this earlier, but hey. That's the look of hate. But wait a minute. Notice when he closed the door on him, the door of that steel cage, right? Lightning strikes started taking, striking the place. Did you notice the door flashing like with lightning strikes? Notice lightning strikes, right? What does that mean? That means what's in that cell, that's him, is something of a god or big fallen angel or something of the sort. Meaning here they have trapped a godlike entity is what they're trying to say. He is in a cage, but they're lightning and energies dispensing around and so on.
Morning. Did you sleep?
All right, here is a point I wanted to make. When I was looking at the keyboard, there are two keyboards. One that has some special characters, such as, I didn't know what to make of these special characters, here, here, and there, and here, and there, right? I thought they were probably the signs of the zodiac. But one thing attracted my attention is that here next to the P, right? Usually this is the, let me make sure. Usually this is the brackets, right? The left bracket. But here, just below the back scratcher, you see something like this. Let me show you. Okay, so that is something is like this. Right? So what is this? This, in fact, is an Arabic letter, right? And as you know, Arabic being the source of all languages, even its alphabet and so on and so forth. This is the letter Qaf, which made its way into the West as Q. So quantum, right? Was this actually. When it came to the West, it was this, right? And the C, of course, is Sheen and Jim put together, right? Right? And so on. But this here, this letter here, is Qaf, or Qaf, Qaf, right? Qaf, letter Qaf. All right, let me explain to you the superstition and the legend about this letter. So the letter Qaf is used actually in the Quran. It is the opening letter of a certain chapter or a surah called Qaf, right? Qaf. And you got your weirdos such as Sufis and stuff, and they started making explanation of that. Some of them started to twist that concept and that letter, the way it's positioned and placed in the Quran, right? Right there. Qaf wal Quran is zikr, right? This zikr. So they started making all kind of weave all kind of stories and superstition and twisted notions and ideas, and they started meandering in the world of demented life and so on and so forth, and they started saying stuff about it, which is not true. That there is a mountain called Qaf, the Jabal Qaf, or the mountain of Qaf, where real bad things, we don't know, supposedly they don't know where it is, but where all these entities that are your supernatural entities and maybe undernatural entities is what I'm thinking they are. Let me show them to you. So I searched and I found a video on where, and again this here says Jabal Qaf, and all this here is weird stuff. Not this one here. This is me. That's a video of mine. No, there's a cool guy here. This is a very cool guy. All right, let's do that. See, that's the one-eyed monster and Qaf, right? It's that letter that you saw on the keyboard that I showed you.
Home, familiar, comfortable, and where most.
All right. So this is the video. What they're saying here is Jabal Qaf, the mountain of Qaf, and the seven earths or seven layers of earth, and the creatures of hell. The truth that has been shown by the Quran and been refuted by so and so, or made or refuted it, right? So here's my advice to you before we continue. Don't go to those worlds or believe those stories or even listen to them. All those who went that route, the magic and the Necronomicon and the Son of Knowledge and so on and so forth, basically ended up insane, or like their lives were destroyed and so forth and so on. All right, so that's that. So let's go back. So here what they're trying to say in this movie is that Qaf, this operator is operating those entities that are part of that, where that supposed virtual or literal mountain is, or or he, the operator, the one I showed you with red face, he and I think probably mouse, right? They're the ones who dwell on the mountain of Qaf. Trust me, folks, don't go there. All right, we'll continue. Okay, this here,
Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
this here illustrates brainwashing. His brain is being washed. Did you see how it was blank and then it started filling up, right? Here, let me show it to you again.
Let's see. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You see it? This is what they call sometimes as catharsis. You leave everything behind, everything that was in your brain, ideals, values, and you no longer have regards for contempt, right? If you've been treated with contempt, or you've been, your person has been insulted or attacked, you don't care anymore, right? So basically, this is a brainwash here. He's building his brain onto something that is really terrible. And you see those numbers. There's 40, I think, 23, 69, 57, 12. All these are magical numbers, right? Oh, man. So here he's becoming nothing, basically, just a machine void of any human value or any human or any intuition or anything else. Basically, he's just becoming, as they called him, a machine, right? And a machine that's really basically is void of everything that is, the non-human and anti-human, anti-social, and so on. I don't know if this is intentional, but on Morpheus's head, there's like a industrial alarm buzzer. What they're trying to say here, I'm just speculating, but Morpheus seems to have like a buzzer alarm in his head or something of the sort. Okay, we'll continue here because that's where we left off.
Going in. Taking me to see her. See who? You are calling.
So the music here, the drum beat, is really an Arabic style modern drum beat. You'll see it always, it's like a little bit modified or morphed into something a little bit more modern, but that's the drum beat of, Arabs and Bedouins and so on, and usually Madonna as well. So Madonna, sometimes if you hear Madonna and hear like those old Arab style drum beat and so on, that's where it is taken from.
No smoke.
They're going to fly. Now Neo has virtual wings, so they're going to dump him. They're teaching him to fly. Again, I don't know. I speculated about the landline phone, the old type style phone, and the wireless phone. Somewhere I read or heard that this here usually means time travel, right? Or multidimensional. I don't know. I don't know. This, I must admit, I couldn't speculate on correctly. Uh-oh.
We're in.
Now I want you to notice this is the same hotel where Trinity was researching in that hoarding place, city hoarding, right? And she was looking at Neo's file, right, filling it up. But this is the same hotel where you can rent it for 1 hour, right, and then give your vial of sperms to somewhere that you don't know where that is, and you have a whole generation that is being used and abused and cloned and whatnot, right? Don't go to hotels with prostitutes, folks. You will lose more. You will lose far more than you will gain. You will gain nothing, actually. So this is now they're leaving that hotel, and observe Neo's reaction when he exits the door. And notice the clothes. The clothes now are normal clothes, so they won't look like suspicious people with weird clothes and so on, right? So whenever they're outside in the matrix or in this world, in this life, they dress normally, of course, black because they're Jews. That's the code color, right? But notice Neo. He's looking down. You know, what the heck is that? You see it? Here, he's looking in the sky. Why is he doing this? This is the first time ever in the life of this clone, who's called Neo, like his father or his originator. He exits into the open air. He sees there's a world or something of the sort, right? Reminds me of a story I just read in the news or heard or watched in the news not too long ago about a certain chimp, right? Chimpanzee, a female, that was indoors for 50 years. And when they let her outside onto some grass, the first thing she did is look onto the sky. You know, she didn't know what the sky is, right? And she was like mesmerized by her surrounding. That's precisely what's happening here. You notice, Neo? That's a new thing for him, right? This clone has never been outside. So Neo or his sperms have been a long way now, right? After he was decapitated by Morpheus and company when he took the red pill. Has he taken the blue pill? Would be the same thing. Or if they didn't recruit him, the blue pill would just do away with him.
We'll be back now.
Right? Hourly rate. Let's see Neo's reaction again. All right, here there is a sign. You see APAC with long sideburns, those long, usually long sideburns. They are a gesture or a symbolic thing about braids. You know how rabbis usually grow their braids around here and they dangle them? That's what he's saying. Where do you see that? If you look in Syria, right, Hafiz al-Assad and his companions, such as Tlas and others like the defense minister, those around him, and other ones that I know personally, they always grew that sideburn, which means they really are rabbis, is what they're trying to say. You know, this here, but then you get confused. Why? Because it's not separated, and it's not a braid or a sideburn or a braid that is dangling on the side of the head, like both sides. So you will be confused, but this is the type sort of an identification thing here. All right.
We'll be back now.
All right. Continental, that's that car, the one that brought the originator Neo into his death, right? And now Cypher is going to cohort with the agents, right? Now here he threw it in a trash can, right? But I noticed things. There's like a Chinese thing here. I don't know, maybe Japanese, but Chinese. And here you will see desert disease feared. Desert disease feared. Desert, that's Arab, right? I don't know what that is. And here, if you look closer, I think I read other things as well here, where it says every human across the USA, blah blah, is something they're talking about infection or a disease, right? But here you will see desert disease fear, right? Disease, and then here you will see the Chinese. Maybe that's COVID they're talking about in 1998, which happened in, guess what? 2019, right? Or 2018. Hey, who's kidding who, right? So connect, right? Now they're accusing Cypher of being a traitor, right? They never declare him an erroneous. They never refute his statements, right? Because what Cypher is saying is really the truth. They are telling you exactly what it is through Cypher, but they're discouraging you from becoming someone like Cypher. This guy is mesmerized. He's like that monkey who was indoors for 50 years and suddenly goes out and sees the sky. That chimpanzee.
Unbelievable.
Notice Morpheus. Unbelievable. He's seeing a new world, right? This world which his father or originator came from, he's seeing it the first time. But he's got residual images and thoughts, right? He inherited from his own father or originator. Or you know what? Maybe this is more than one generation. So one of his ancestors is the Neo that was executed or made into a veggie.
Why?
See, every time he says something, they want to verify what he's thinking, what he's, they ask him a question so he can clarify the thought in his brain because they don't know what it is in his brain. I think some of them do. I used to eat there. See, that actually residual thought. This Neo, never been outside of that hotel. Notice she never said anything. She just looked at him inquisitively. But she's covered her eyes, so that won't give her away. Her position and what she's trying to do. Really good noodles. What is good noodles? Well, you got Chinese, right? Chinese are partners of Zion. The Chinese regime, let's put it this way.
I have these memories from my life.
See, memories, but that's not him. They came through his originator.
None of them happened.
None of them happened. See, memories in his life. None of them happened. This guy is a clone, right? This guy is a clone. That's what they're telling you. See, the words are coded here. They're telling you precisely what's going on. But you have to understand it, otherwise you will be decapitated and your sperm is taken.
What does that mean?
The Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
What does that mean? Means you have to know yourself, or the Matrix will not tell you that you are a clone. I'm going to write this down. Give me a second. Okay, the Matrix cannot tell you who you are. This here and they will never ever tell you you are a clone, right? Or artificial inseminated person, right? Because if they do, what will happen if they do? Oh, they have to tell you, and then you will be further horrified, right? And then you will now take an action, right? You will now take action to escape this horror. But you will never know. You will die not knowing. If you go there and get decapitated, your own offspring will not know. And they will be used and abused and treated for everything from sacrificial rites to body parts to just anything you can imagine.
An oracle can?
Suicide mission. Now he says the oracle can, right? Right? What does she say? That's different. Remember, he will never get an answer or any piece of information. Straightforward. They will never tell him anything that could be useful for him or hold them responsible. Because he can come back and say, oh, you said so and so. Now Neo cannot say you said so and so, period. Notice, it's all cryptic messages, cryptic statements. Some of it is useless, some of it is cryptic, some of it is telling him straightforward what is going on. But in disguise, right, in metaphor, he will never wake up, right? They will never allow him or give him a reason or any piece of information for him to wake up. That's all. When they put sunglasses like this, I imagine sometimes I think they are like real devils. That's different, see? He never got an answer.
Did you go?
Did you go to her? Notice, she's not even looking.
Yes.
She says yes. Well, she'd been there before with different clones and different replicas and different Neos.
What did she tell you?
Uh-huh. I mean, typical human, right? He's even though he's a clone or he's an artificial inseminated person, we want to know things. We're that's our own survival. The instinct of survivalism. By not trying to know things ahead of time. No answer. Notice, she signaled Morpheus. Guess what Morpheus says? She's procrastinating with the answer.
What?
What?
We're here.
See? Morpheus came to her rescue. We're here.
Deal. Come on.
All right, here there's plenty of clues. See this guy, supposedly he's blind. I will explain to you what he really is. I don't know. I think I see a rug here. Like Persian rug, maybe? I don't know. But he's supposedly blind. Notice. Notice the exchange between him and Morpheus. Again, Morpheus is wearing that green tie. He's trying to say when he walks outside, he's a rabbi or perhaps disguised as a Muslim or something like that. Not all Muslims. Probably. And the wall is red. What does that red stuff mean here? The red stuff here means the wall is stained with the blood of the clones. Those clones, the Neos before him, they are on the wall and their blood is on the wall. They're engraved in the wall of this particular entity here, right? But notice the exchange between him and Morpheus. Did you see that? So Morpheus bows his head down, and this blind, supposedly he sees it, right? And then he bows down too. How did he see it? But he saw it. Oh, there's plenty of clues here. I'm not going to tell you about those clues now. We'll come back later. Kim. I don't know what Kim is here. I think it means kill your mother. Or kill your mason or something like that. I don't know what that means here. And here is something like W or I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. But Kim, you will see it in two places. You will see it in the credits at the end of the movie where they display credit and someone, either the producer or somebody who's there, his name is Kim, K-Y-M. One of the names that are displayed at the end of the movie. You know how they scroll up and, they give you the real name for Neo and characters and and production and the titles and whatever that is. One of those persons participating in a movie, not as an actor, is in fact Kim, K-Y-M. He is also the helicopter pilot. One of the helicopter pilots who gets killed on that roof when there's like a fight, right, between Neo and the agent. One of them is Kim, but K-I-M, not K-Y-M. So you know what that is. Otherwise, for me, this year means kill your mother. You monkeys. All right, let's go.
So is this the same?
So we passed a couple of clues here, very important clues, but I will come back later because they're relevant to a scene later.
Will it be the prophecy?
Yeah.
What? Let's see what he said.
So is this the same oracle that made the prophecy?
Made the prophecy, so this guy is being prophesied to be the one.
Yeah.
Yo, sucker.
She's very old. She's been with us since the beginning.
The beginning of creation is what he means. So that oracle has been around, like that devilless or demoness, is that what you call it? Devil or girl devil, she devil, right? Or demoness has been around for thousands of years, is what he is saying. But notice, This is the only answer he gets that is straight, but that also doesn't make much sense, right? If he really wanted him to know, he would tell him she's been around for, they say, 200,000 years or so. And beginning of what? He says, beginning of the resistance, right? That's the supposedly here. I think they're alluding to the war in heavens between angels and so on, and the rebel. But here the rebellion is really against God. So Rabbi Morpheus, the shapeshifter, and his world are the rebellious angels, against God or Allah.
And she knows what? Everything?
Now Morpheus here is getting tired of these questions, but he just can't tell him to shut up. Why? Because he wants to take him and that copperhead and arrive at certain point, right? And then he will dispose of him. I don't know what that is. Stasi or Dizzy or Sisi, General Sisi of Egypt. And here, I don't know. Here there are some writings. Who cares? Those Kukukowskis are a little bit weirdos.
She would say she knows enough.
She knows enough, right? I mean, what kind of answer is that? Here, what he just told him, without directly saying it, shut the F up.
And she's never wrong.
Because now, Neo is questioning this here prophecy or not meaningly. He wants to walk in, then he's certain that he is the one, right?
Try not to think of it in terms of right and wrong.
In the world of Morpheus, there is no right and wrong. There's just do what thou wilt, shall be all the law according to them. And one of their heretic movement called Hassan al-Subbah or the Hashashin.
She is a guide. She can help you find your path.
That's true, but he doesn't know guide to what path. He should tell him what the path is and what guided him to do what and who he is and so on.
She helped you. Yes.
Yeah, that's a straightforward answer. She didn't help him really, but she did whatever to break down his mind and so on. And notice the eyes here, even though it may not be so obvious, but there's that light reflecting off the eye, which is showing you that Morpheus is really not a human being.
What did she tell you? That I would find it one.
Sucker Morpheus. No, sucker Neo. Look, his eyes are now normal. I don't know what's with those Kukukowskis and lipsticks. I think they were like something like doing something in the background, watching all these guys on the set, milking up some stuff or milking down some stuff. Again, on the wall, this is my monitor. Never mind that. It's reflecting off my screen. This video here, I don't know, man. I bought it a long time ago, but in case I want to buy another TV, it will not be this kind. I didn't really, a guy who I swear to Allah, looking like Morpheus, recommended that to me when I went to buy it from this particular electronic store. He says, Vizio, blah, blah. I paid like $350 for this. I remember.
I told you I can only show you the door. You have to walk through it.
That's right. Now they're not, although they pushed him around, they coerced him, they coaxed him, they harassed him, they basically hurt him. Hurt meaningly like hurting him like a sheep or dog, right? But they're not responsible for what he will do or what he's about to do or what he will ever do. Will always be his goal and his responsibility. You see, when the dog attacks another dog or another animal on your behalf, he decided to attack that. Other than that, if it's a cat, guess what? It'll leave you to your own devices and leave you alone in the fight. That's why I love cats. Okay, if you look here, The room number is C960. Yep, 960. So 96, I don't know, 960. So C is for SEE, really, C, or look at, see, like go see your, father, go see your doctor, or something of the sort. Uh, Here, like meet, you're meeting 960. What is 960? I don't know, man. I mean, that's like when the Shiites were, no, when something like assassins or whatnot were established, or whatnot it is. Or this is 96. That's the number of the devil or something. Well, for them they are. Oh, they were waiting for him.
You're right on time.
Aha. Observe this woman's eyes. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but they're always red. Notice on the wall, there's 8. That's Super 8, I think. Right? I don't know what else there is. Right? Keep observing the woman's eyes. There you go. Red devil. I don't know. Sometimes when you pan a camera, you get like a little bit of distortion on the moving object. Or if a moving object in front of a camera moves too fast, the camera skips frames and then they get like but I don't think so. I think that's intentional. All right. Do you remember the story of the spoon? Number 1, these here, gold, right? That's where the money is. But it's 1 and then 6. There are 6 glasses. 1 and 6 glasses. This red thing here, I don't know, I'm drawing blank on. It was on the top of the TV, or the TV stand, when Trinity was was chased by the agents, and they crashed that City Waste truck into that little apartment, hidden apartment for Mossad or Zion, right? I don't know what that is. That looks like a Chinese thing to me here. This could also be Chinese, right? Here, I don't know what that is. Looks like a globe with some kind of a snail, right? But this here is 1/6, and the spoons. What are the spoons? The spoons are previous neos. So this many or even far more walked in here, right? Right? And they ended up. So Neo is not the first clone to walk onto the Oracle. All these here are him, or his ancestors, clone ancestors, or like him, clones like him. They walked here and they're now hanging on the wall, like a display, right? Like dolls in a cupboard. All right. Here they tell you a little bit about Neo, right? Notice how that woman is looking, right? Is looking at him, and with a baby, right? I'm gonna speculate here. Okay, you count those here. There's 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, right? Okay, we know what that is so far. Here there is a brown. Brown usually denotes two things: either blacks or Arabs, right? In their movies. Here there's a Chinese woman. Here there's a European girl. What does that mean? That means Eurasian. That is Eurasian, right? And this woman here is holding and handling a little baby. So here's where I think that here's what I think that means. These are his clones or children's, or he is their father by way of artificial inseminations. All these children's are cloned like him. They are of him, or and so on. And they're being trained, right? And so you see like red, and then brown, and then 1/6, 1/6, 1/6. So here we're talking Arabs. Green, there's Arab as well. But then the European, and there's Eurasian, right? Sitting on an say a Muslim or Arab couch. This woman is holding that. Could that be him or his son? But it's definitely this woman is looking at him with interest, right? There he is, right? Either his son or his clone. So notice, the two women here, European and Chinese, they're doing technology, right? You know, right? Keyboard, right? This woman here, I don't know what she looks like. She looks like probably from India, or probably from Nepal or something of the sort. Now she's playing chess. She's very smart. Playing chess also means like maneuverability. So these two are made for the Chinese and the Europeans and the Eurasians are made for electronic science and knowledge and so on. This one here is a wily thing, right? The other potentials. They're yours, Neo. They're either your children or your clones. They're from you, or they're your sisters and brothers. Now you can wait here. Notice, this girl, the stare is to make you see what she is, right? She's European, like Germanic, mainly Germanic, probably. Now this guy is from I don't know, looks like Nepal or I don't know, Eurasian as well. And he's reading a book. So this guy read book, communism maybe communism, manifesto of communism. Rabbi Karl Marx and Rabbi Stalin and Rabbi Lenin, those shapeshifters and Engel and Borenstein or Trotsky, oh, those shapeshifters. Okay, here, these two look to me like either Jews or Arabs, right? I don't know. They give birth to new new generation of clones or of whoever it is, but they're the mothers that give birth. How do I know? You misunderstood what rabbit means, right? There you go. They are the rabbits. Their only job is to reproduce neos and stuff like that by way of artificial intelligence or in blah blah. I don't know what. I tried to resolve this. This is a 9 and V, right? And this is a J, Jewish, and Zion, Jewish, Zion, right? And there's a helicopter. I don't know what the helicopter is for. And there's a 9V. I don't know what that 9V is, right? Or 9-5, V, I think it's 5 in Roman numerals. And here, of course, that's who they are, right? That's who they are. These two basically were meant to reproduce and give birth to new neos or new artificial intelligence. So they're kind, either Jewish or Arab, right? That's all they do, just give birth, right? I don't know what this here. There's like a bug. More rabbits are running toward them, right? That's a bug. I don't know what the heck that is. White Jew, something else. I don't know what the heck that is here. Excuse me, I can speculate so much. And then there's the eye, and here there's what the heck is that? I don't know. Let's continue. This guy is a mystery. He bends. He bends spoons. Remember what I told you about spoons? But notice. Now look at the spoon itself and the reflection in it. Aha! Who's that? He is the spoon. Remember what I explained to you when Maus talked about deny our own impulses, pointing his finger, and then Neo was looking at the spoon. You know what that means, right? So the spoon is a sperm. What that means is this guy is an originator, right? That's where sperms come from. That's where genetic material come from. But he will come to tell you that the spoon is bent, meaning the spoon is not functional. Or guess what? Excuse my language. The penis is not functional. However, they're taken from him without. He's a sexless, right? He's being broken sexually, but he's contributing the sperms, right? Right? And this guy is telling him that all those here are his. So the bending the spoon here, I think, meaningly forced ejaculations or something of the sort. Kukukowski's, I heard from the architect, the super architect of the universe. He's gonna let you go and collect those sperms and dollars and many generations all the way from the beginning to the end. He'll give you enough time until the galaxy is dissolved, right? So you'll have that much time to fetch every sperm, every that binary tree, you know, the tree where all these generations. So you got plenty of time. Don't worry about it.
Do not try.
So let me see. This is yours, Neo. That's where these. Okay, I think the red glass here is like the glass of water with red. You know, that's what he drank. When you say he swallowed the red pill and the glass of water, I think that's what that here is, right? He's no longer alive or something.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
Realize the truth, but he'll never realize the truth. We humans are very guarded, right? We don't jump to conclusions or we're not suspicious by nature. We function on human level, right? So we trust the fellow human.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
There's no spoon, meaningly the sexuality as per human a man's reproductive organ is no longer there. It's not used to reproduce.
There is no spoon?
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
That's right. The spoon is not the one that oozes, right? The genetic material. It's just taken from him. He is being bent. That's my speculation, but I bet money that's what it is. I bet a whole dollar on it. Because that's what Mouse and Neo told us when they were eating snot, bowl of snot in that Zion, which is not heaven. See? Now he sees the reflection is that of the boy, the what you call not the Hindu, rather the Buddhist boy. And remember, there's a story about Jesus being Buddhist and he came from whatever, you know. That's what they're trying to say here, maybe, I don't know. But that's they're related. Is what this guy here, look at him. The eyes are no longer blue. He looks, I mean, this guy here, this boy, now is looking a little bit, the look is evil, right? Well, maybe they're saying that that's what's in you, right? Here, let me go back. You just hit me. So maybe the stages is when this guy looked and he saw the spoon, and then this guy here entered him. Or maybe the reflection is here's what's inside of you, right? What's inside of you, Neo? What's inside of you is really something like a spirit, like bad spirit or something of the sort. But why Buddhism? I don't know. See? Okay, now he shows the rabbits or the two girls, right, that are reproducing. That's very much what it is. They're taking sperm from Neo, right? And then he's getting children like him, like the other children, right? That white girl and then the, I don't know, Asian or whatever it is girl, right? Maybe all these things happened in the Himalayas. I don't know. And then these two girls are the ones that are reproduced by taking their ovaries or embryos, right? Or and they're getting fertilized, and they're taken from them, and they're making clones, right? That's this whole story, folks. As sick as it gets. Where do you find this? If I want to call any book a book of Satan or a book of the devil, that makes human like suffer even when they're no longer conscious, is this ugly book from hell, folks. You have no idea how evil this book is.
You are cool to see now.
Red eyes. And she also has lipsticks, right? So is that like his, what is it, his double, his image? And there's the story of the double I told you earlier. Double, not devil, double, right? So there you are. These two, him is production of these two or something of the sort. I don't know. I mean, maybe this one is not does not exist, and these two do exist, and then he's talking to him from a different dimension or something of the sort. But this is definitely about cloning, and all those apparently are his clones, right? So his clones, as girls, they give birth to others, right? Or if they don't give birth, they take their embryos, and just like a clone, just like Neo, they take their embryos and just basically make humans, machines out of them. Copperhead. All right, here's a very important scene. Notice, if you count those, you'll come up with something like 19 or, a magic number. But those figures here, what are these figures? There are six of them. These you will see with a little bit of modification, and they all denote the same thing. These you will see as the very same figure on the flag of the Iran Revolution and the flag of Hezbollah. The one on the flag, Iran Revolution, let me illustrate that to you. Give me a second. All right, if you look here, that shape is a flying demon, really, is what it's saying. This is the one on Iran's flag, Iran's Shiites or Shiitas. And this is Hezbollah. It's close enough, but the one that Hezbollah has of Mordecai Bazar Allah, the leader, or Jewish leader of Hezbollah, he looks like a cant of some kind of deity, right? And the pig's face. He's folding his wings on the Hezbollah flag. He's folding his wings on the Iran flag. He's spreading its wings, right? And that's who they are here, right? That's who they are here. So what he's entering on is really, I think, is a Shiite world or something where they're Shiism and Alawism and so on and Sufism are heresies, right? They spread the word of the devil, but meantime, after, they fight Essex and whatnot and so on, they lay down, and then Rabbi Morpheus, put his hoof on top of their head, in contempt and condescension. They lick the hoof and they're fine with that, right? So that's number one. Here you will see the city phone, right? Telephone book, same thing as that was at Neo's Cube and at the office of the manager at Metacortex and so on. I tried to understand. I didn't know what these are. I tried to count 1, 2, 3, 5. I didn't succeed. I counted those: red, yellow, and green. So red is devils, green Muslims, yellow are Chinese. I know you'll see plus sign, D, whatever, But what's here? What's here? I think here are the corpses of the murdered Neos. When Neos are murdered, they put them in some kind of a freezer or something of the sort. Well, guess what? Morpheus doesn't let you go far in this life. After he abuses you, uses you, and abuses you, you get disposed.
I know you're Neo. You're right with me.
You're the Oracle?
A question. Notice the answer. She never says yes. Bingo. Now here the scene is very strange. Green, brown. So they're talking about that what is supposedly called Islam or Shiism, right? Again, Shiism is not Islam. It's anti-Islamic. It's a heretic religion, right? But here there is like flour and cookies, right? I don't know. I mean, here you can read so much into this. And, you may have better insight into it than I do. I don't know. Uh, but she's cooking stuff up for him.
Not quite what you were expecting, right?
Right? You thought you were going to see something like a winged angel. Winged fallen angel or demons or devils or jinns for that matter, say sometimes appear as humans.
Almost done. Smell good, don't they?
Uh-huh. You know what? She's smell good. This is like you mangoes, you mangoes, you mangoes. You smell good, huh? Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah.
He's drooling now.
I've asked you to sit down, but you're not going to anyway.
How does she know? She just put it into his mind. Had she asked him to sit down, he would. But I don't think there's a chair except one.
And don't
There's
worry about it.
so here I don't know. Here they're taking money from the Arabs, right? Their oil and whatnot, and then they use it to uh, pay people to become their machines. You know, their expenses and so on. Poor Arabs, you know, they got their oil lost. They lost their oil. They never really benefited from it. I don't know. I'm speculating again. Oh, I'll tell you how to. To me, I never performed magic, but this is very simple. Usually, they extend it long enough and they ask you to do a movement and so on, and they know you're gonna hit the base and fall down. Trust me, folks. This is no miracle. This is like they're saying. You look out on the street and you would say, like, in the next 24 hours, a red car is gonna pass. It's gonna drive by, right? That's very funny. So don't believe that shit.
I'm sorry.
I said, don't worry about it. I'll get one of my kids to fix it.
How did you know?
Oh, what's really going to bake your noodle later on?
You know what bake your noodle means? Bake your noodle. You know, she's gonna say something similar to that in a little bit. Bake your noodle is his reproductive organ, man's reproductive organ, like penis. They're going to bake it for him, basically. Uh,
Would you still have broken it if I hadn't said anything?
oh man, the guy is getting confused here.
Let you do them.
Uh-oh. She's smoking him.
Oh,
Notice her green dress.
I can see why she likes you.
Really?
Who? Not too bad.
Oh, I was told before I wasn't bright. I think I'm still dumb.
You know when Morpheus brought you to see me. So, what do you think? Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love.
This is the first time he ever gets an answer that is straightforward, right? And true. You know yourself. Everybody should know themselves. Now, sometimes we're not always awakened, right? We need some help from our parents, from our societies, from our leaders, you know, from our son, right? To wake us up if they, of course, feel toward us as if we're human beings as they are, right? But this here says one thing to me, you know, like, yeah, true. You know, if you knew you were the one, you wouldn't be coming to whoever it is, asking them if you're the one. You will know it.
No one can tell me.
You will feel it.
Love is just know it. Through and through.
That,
Balls keep on.
here we go. Like bake his noodle and now balls to bones. You may think that's what that I'm reading too much into it or trying to twist the expression. That's what she means, balls to bones. If it means anything else, put a note for me in the comment section. I'll change my mind and I will go ahead and correct it. So first he got his noodle baked, right? And now he's getting the balls to bones, right? Poor Neo. Oh, what do they do to your clone after they decapitated you and with that red pill? And now all these children of yours are being treated like, oh man, those filth. They are the bottom of filth, those Morpheuses. And they are not the ones to get away with it.
Well, have a look at you. Open your mouth, say ah.
What's she doing now? She's looking for something. She also has lipsticks on. The Kukukowskis and lipsticks, they have something on lipsticks. I don't know what it is. So here, you know, there's like the 6-pointed star and 2, 4, 1. They're smart. I can't even decipher what they're saying here. Or maybe they're dumb and I'm reading too much into their intelligence or non-intelligence.
Okay. I'm supposed to say, that's interesting, but then you say,
But what?
but you already know what I'm going to tell you.
I'm not the one.
She put the words right in his mouth.
Sorry, kid. You got the gift.
We're gonna stop here, not stop the video. But what does that mean, you got the gift? Well, we missed it. Let me show you what she means by you got the gift. Alright, do you remember this particular scene where he, that boy I love, I miss my, oh, this boy better be okay. Oh, this boy better be alright. Oh, but here we didn't see that, right? If you notice to the left of this magazine, and here, right here, you will see another magazine or a book. But here, there is the picture of the back of the head, right? The back of the head. And if you look closely here, there is an opening in the skull in the back of the head. I don't know, it looks like some kind of a dinosaur, or it looks like some kind of a turtle or something. But if you look within that opening of the back of the skull, you will see the figure of a being with horns, like devils or something of the sort. It's right here. If you look at it, it's right here. So here what they're saying is, I got better lighting today. The sun is obscured by the clouds, so I got better lighting here. So as you can see it now, right there, there's some kind of a figure in there, like primordial figure. Who do they mean by that? I really don't know, nor do I have insight into their cuckoo's brains and stuff like that. Here, there's the something, I can't read it, you'll have to ask the Kukukowskis, right? But here, as you can see, in his head, meaning Neo's head, right there, right? There's something in him, is what they're trying to say. Give me another second, they indicate that a little bit later. Alright, this is who they mean by the one inside the Neo's head. You see Neo's? This guy is a blind, but he is inside Neo, right? And if you look at Neo, he's looking at him as well, right? So this is the one, that entity that they indicate by being blind, yet he saw what Neo is doing. So he sees not by his physical eyes or that eye of his. He is within Neo, and that's whom Morpheus is trying to deal with. But they're trying to skip over the physical Neo or the human Neo, right? And the communication is between this and that guy who is supposedly inside Neo, is what they're trying to say. He is very old, he's very ancient, and he's sitting inside, or possessed, right? Neo is possessed by this particular figure, or he lives in him. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Give me a second. All right. If you see this guy, now he's looking at the door of the elevator. But here you will see two different eyes. Remember what I told you about the eyes of demons as they're illustrated by those heretic occults and so on. Demons' eyes are tilted upward from the corners, right? So that's what you see here, right? And there's blood all over the wall, and those Neos, dead Neos and whatnot, right? And this guy is inside Neo. So Morpheus and him are talking, but they're trying to skip over the human Neo. Now I'm thinking that's not me anymore. That's not me anymore. I said I want to be famous and put myself in this movie. Guess what? It's not working all for me. Sometimes I see myself in there, sometimes I see myself here. I assure you, that this guy and this guy, they will never be inside of me or control me. But then this is the devil, right? That's him. But notice, this is not all of it. Observe when Neo walks, observe, right? Observe his eyes. Notice the eyes of Neo, they're dark now, right? Notice. There you go. So these are the eyes of the demons of that one. Supposedly he is inside of Neo. And look at Neo's eyes. These eyes are within this guy. Is that guy or that devil? And look at Neo's eyes. They're ominous. They're telling you what's inside of here is that old ancient guy, right? And that's him. But this poor guy is just the vehicle. He's just the legs walking, right? Keep noticing. Notice. He immediately covers those. Look at Neo's eyes. You see him? Huh? Right there. He pointed to his eyes as well. Now, Morpheus presses number 8, I believe. Yeah, number 8. So he's Super Satan or something like that, Super 8. And there's your Kim. The guy wants to be in the movie.
So is this the same uncle that made the?
Now he's talking to the human. Now Morpheus is having to deal with this idiot here, human, but he's trying to talk to the one inside of him, is what they're trying to say. They're communicating to the entity inside of him. He just showed you who it is, right? Okay, let's go back to where we left off. I can't help myself but comment here. It's like those demons are working around humans, right? Breathing them, moving through them, possessing them. That's how demons work their way around here, supposedly fallen angel, right? And that's what he said to him earlier on when they were sitting down, watching the Matrix and so on, TV and whatnot. He told him then, right? Told him fate is not without the sense of irony that they are dependent. So demons are dependent on the machines or humans to survive and move around. And you understand that very sinister concept that when they were sitting down together in that squalor, in that rundown place, in that desolate desert of the real, which is Islamdom, really. When they say desert of the real, they mean Islamdom, right? And the kingdom of God. And then they use humans. Look at this human, Neo, right? He's helpless. He doesn't understand a thing, but they're moving as they possess him and the Neos, the clones, and so on. Okay, I just showed you what the gift is, what she means by the gift. She discovered that, yes, he has the gift or that position, that very ancient man, and then the devil in him, and, the back of the skull in that closet of his or bookcase, and so on. That's what she means by you got the gift, but you're just a vessel, right? So these Morpheuses, them rabbis, shapeshifters, they use humanity to move around. So we're only poor guys, we're only vessels. Similar to us humans, raising livestock and sheep and so on, and only to eat them, right? We take care of them long enough to eat them.
But it looks like you're waiting for something.
Waiting for something. What is that he's waiting on? It's the cookies, really. Because now what she's saying is really he's waiting on the cookies. Cookies here means money. I'm going to tell you a story about the cookies. They may be harmful. Don't worry about the cookies you buy from the store. I eat those too.
What? The next life, maybe.
Next life, maybe. Next life. What is next life? Is it reincarnation? Maybe that's what the Buddhist little monk was talking about, or what he signifies, right? Denoting next life. Here means a clone, right? A clone. So this Morpheus wants to be rich, right? Not Morpheus, sorry. This Neo wants to be rich, but nothing is going to happen. Maybe your next clone. Not one of the clones, folks. This money, millions and so on, forget it. It just doesn't happen. Not for you if you are a human. And if you die a pauper, that is highly likely an indication. That is a likely indication that you're a human being, a clone, like us, like me.
Who knows?
Who knows?
That's the way these things go. What's funny?
Notice she's disgusted by him, and she's given him that hateful look, just like he got on it from Tank when he put him on that chair and teaching him supposedly jujitsu or kung fu, or Morpheus when he left that room, right? A steel cage. You know, he gave him that look. Now she's giving him that look. Notice. Keep observing. And she asked him what's funny, right? There's disgust here. Notice. He is saying, like, she's saying F you, or what's, you know, what's effing funny or something. Notice her face and her lips.
Morpheus.
In fact, I think the voice is recorded, the gesture on,
Morpheus.
you know? Oh, she hates him. She can't stand a human being in her presence. This is similar to a cow coming into our bedroom or something like this. Yeah, we're gonna slaughter you tomorrow, but don't come in here, you little shit. And the radio, of course, there is the two telephone books and in the radio, right? What that means, I think, is the communication system. Basically, the Morpheuses and whoever that is, right? The Oracle and their matrix and their masonry, they keep tab on everybody in the city, and they have their own communication systems, right? I still don't know what that is. It sounds to me like some kind of ancient graves or something, and then they freeze someone or unfreeze someone. These guys who were here, they got frozen.
You almost had me convinced.
I know. Poor Morpheus.
Oh, poor Morpheus. Now she's trying to make Morpheus. Poor Morpheus.
Without him, we're lost.
Oh, really?
What do you mean? Without him?
Rabbi, Morpheus, shapeshifter.
Are you sure you want to hear this?
Uh-huh. Now she's trying to put a reverse psychology on him. What that does that mean? That means she's trying to hurt him psychologically into stating something or committing for something himself when she is putting that in his mind. It would not be him, but eventually, whatever happens, whatever Neo does, they make it sound like it's his own responsibility. So by the time he feels the heat and then get killed or commit suicide or whatever it is, right? He won't think that he was coerced mentally or twisted mentally into doing such act. It's not him. She's trying to project on him.
Morpheus believes in you, Leo.
Oh, now she's putting stuff in him. Oh man.
And no one, not you, not even me, can convince him otherwise. He believes it so blindly that he's going to sacrifice his life to save yours.
Now she told a brazen lie right there and then. A brazen lie. You will see at the end. Why is she saying this? Sacrifice his life to save yours. Now she's gonna twist it on him. You, Neo,
What?
you, Neo, you blind Neo, will have to sacrifice your life to save Morpheus. And you were born to serve Morpheus according to them. You were born to serve Morpheus and sacrifice all for him and die for him. And then at the end, he put his hoof on your head and then you will lick it. I'm talking to Alois and Cheetahs and Cheats and Masons and whatnot, right? That's what Morpheus and the Oracle will do to you, you fucks. Oh, excuse my language.
You're going to have to make a choice.
Uh-huh.
On the one hand, you'll have Morpheus's life. And on the other hand, you'll have your own. One of you is going to die. Which one will be up to you?
Poor dumb Neo. Did you understand what she just did say? What she just said? She just set him up for a suicide mission. This dumb idiot, right? And now he's going to decide, oh, Morpheus is so good to him that he will not allow him to die. He'll die for him. You see what? You see the flow of the conversation here, the way the words put together very carefully. You know, sometimes I wonder, you know, all these masses that found this movie to be nice, you know, and beautiful, and they were attracted to it, and they paid money to see it, watch it, and they don't know what it is. It's talking about them, those dumb meals.
I'm sorry, kiddo, I really am. You have a good soul.
But that's the one inside of him. She's not talking to him. Good soul here means like you're good, you're benevolent, you sacrifice for others, and you're good human, good soul is what she's saying, not the one inside.
And I hate giving good people bad news.
Oh yeah, what's the bad news? She knows somebody is gonna get killed, or she's sending him to a suicide mission.
No, don't worry about it. As soon as you step outside that door, you'll start feeling better. You'll remember you don't believe in any of this fate crap.
Fate. Remember, Neo or Morpheus? Fate is not without an irony, so he declares fate, but at the start, he doesn't believe in fate. Why is she saying you don't believe in any of this fate crap, right? Because she knows that he said he doesn't believe in fate because he is not in control of his life. She's banking on that statement before. She knows all about him, of course, statement by statement, letter by letter, and computers are helping now. Why? Because now you can go back in time and quickly fetch his statements and relevant to fate and so on and so forth. Oh, if you study the database and their queries, and how fast those computers that fetch specific information related to a statement or a regular expression. I know computers.
You're in control of your own life.
You see? So this is not fate. You're making your own decision. They always put him forward and drive him to state that you are the one making that decision. Remember.
Here,
All right, 6 cookies.
take a cookie.
I don't know what that is. That could denote money, but something has happened to me. I will tell you in a little bit.
I promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain.
Right as rain, meaningly, as I told you earlier, devils get burned by rain. Or this thing has some red and blue pill stuff in it. His brain's gonna get effed up again once. Yesterday, once more. Mofu, Neo. All right, here's the story of the cookie. One day I was in Houston, and there was like Syrian guys in a shop, right? I was living, let me give you the exact place, on Fountain View. I think it used to be called Three Fountains or Fountain on the Lake or something like that. Southwest Houston, just by Westheimer, between Westheimer and Richmond. An old building. I think it was also owned by some kind of a Lebanese guy, right? Or built by a Lebanese American. So I was standing there once, and there's a Libyan guy, right? And there's 2 guys from Aleppo. Now I know they're all Jews, right? I didn't know back then. I was married. And there comes this guy, older man, American, blue-eyed and so on. He looked awfully familiar to me, but I couldn't place him, right? However, the man or the Libyan guy looked at him, he says, he turned out to be like an actor or something of the sort, or playwright, or, he must be somebody famous. And he said, I think he called him Robert or something like that. Robert or something, I forgot exactly. This guy came out of nowhere. He looked like Robert. He looks a lot like Robert Palmer, the actor who died recently. He does very good roles. I like his style of acting, right? He fits very good into his roles, right? I think he died recently. I think his last name is Robert Palmer. And he replaced Kevin Spacey or whatever it is because of some pedophilia scandal or something like that in movie. And I think he died recently. So this guy began to discuss with us, and he said a few things that were like abnormally weird to me. You know, you wouldn't say stuff like that. For example, he talked about English. And he went to England. He says he went to England. And I think he says he was Irish, right? Originally Irish. You know how Americans are. 80% Germans, next followed by Irish and then English and, you know, things of the sort, right? White America. And he said he went to England and then he went to this like old-time cemetery in some abbey where there are tourists and so on. And he started to explaining to the English who those personalities were buried there are and how great they are and how English people are, blah, 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 right? I found that a little bit strange for an Irishman to say so. And the English history is not as great as he thought it was. But he seems to me to have bias toward the English. And then we started talking, right? And then the owner of the store, who's from Aleppo, right? And I know now he's Jewish, right? I forgot his name. He started, and he would come, right? He started talking about, how should I say it? He started talking about that owner of the store, about Lawrence of Arabia. Uh, you know that role by Peter O'Toole when he dressed as Arab and went to Arabia and, you know, helped the English, you know, subdue the continent and whatnot, right? Those Bedouins didn't know what the heck he was or what, you know, the Bedouins are clueless as Neo himself, right? What the Aleppo guy was saying, that he was forced to declare his hate to the Arabs or to work against the Arabs, even though deep within he wasn't really against the Arabs. He didn't want that to happen. What he did, he didn't want to happen. I personally disagreed, right? I said no, because he lived, after he came back from Arabia to England, he lived 20 years, right? And I don't think the guy has any children, so he had enough time to declare it. And I think Robert agreed, right? But something crossed my mind right there and then. I remember watching that movie when Peter O'Toole was talking about the Arabs as as English officer. I forgot, maybe it's not the same movie. And then when he looked at whoever he was chatting with, and he says, "They're interesting, aren't they?" Right? They're interesting people or interesting bunch. That was a slur, actually. That was a contempt, statement of scorn and loath and stuff like that, right? And then I declared that before Robert. I said when it came to the Arabs, I didn't say when it came to the Arabs. Something in my mind just declared it. I looked at Robert and he was looking at me and I said, they're interesting people, aren't they? And I still remember the look on his face. It was something similar to the look of the oracle when she said, what's funny, right? There was that sense of something arose in him that's not really humanistic. And he said, they are, aren't they? Right? And I could see the tone right there and then. We moved on, of course. But later on, as I was standing outside, this guy, Robert, comes with a small pan, right? And then at the bottom of the pan, there is some kind of a tissue like Kleenex or something like that, right? Or a towel, and then above it there are cookies. Exactly the same situation. And he presented me, he extended the pan, like the small like bowl, right? The metallic bowl. He said, here's some cookies. I, at that point, couldn't help but pick up one, right? I picked up one, but I kept it in my hand. And then we talked. I think he was a little bit unsettled by that. And then somebody like showed up like about 100 feet. And then I and whoever was standing with me, we walked toward him and I left him standing there. I haven't seen much of him afterwards, but that's the story of the cookies. I never ate that cookies or that cookie. So here, this may be some money. Maybe they're giving him some money to subsist on or something of the sort, you know, like pay his rent or whatever it is, right? That doesn't, right? He sleeps in some room. He knows precisely what's being said. Why he's been there alone. He's been here quite a few times, that Morpheus, right?
What was said was for you.
I don't know what that is behind Neo
What
here.
was said
Looks like a mandala of some sort. You know, I would say, I don't know, that's like a Buddhist thing.
was for you. And for you alone.
There's nothing that's been said to him, really. Two, I think he's talking to the guy inside, right? The guy inside, as they're making an assumption of, like, it's safe for you alone, right? Keep it a secret. Now, when he puts the sunglasses, he is talking to the guy inside. But if not, he's talking to the human being. Notice Neo, poor guy, every time there's an engagement or conversation, they throw him around, they put him into a spin zone. He's just confused, right? Give me a second. Feel as right as rain. I think what they mean by that is, like after a good night's sleep, you get a good day or something of the sort. Or it could be the water that the devils or demons, who in fact sometimes they say they're the Arabs, right? They can't stand water, they burn. Remember Rabbi Mel Gibson in his movie leading to the 2003 invasion of Baghdad or Iraq that killed millions, right? He was like happy because now those Arabs are going to lose millions again because they're demons, according to him. And when the water was spilled on that last particular person who's supposedly a demon, right? The one who was holding the boy with like gas, WMD, sticking out of his wrist or something of the sort, right? And that's supposedly Saddam Hussein, right? Saddam, right? So maybe that's what she means, you feel as right as rain. I don't know. X. All right, mouse. Now I always ask myself, what's with those big shoes here, big boots, right? Notice the clothing. Now mouse is completely different. He dyed his hair blonde, and I don't know what else he's doing here. He's like, right? That's where Neo got decapitated. It's the same room, really, the original Neo. So those boots means a couple of things for me. Clothes wear out, but boots, they give you those big boots because they're reused time and again as Neos arrive and then they die out, the clones and so on. So they use the same boots, right? So this is not, Zion is not exactly heavens or a luxury place of luxury, nor it is a fashion show. You will wear the ragged clothes, second-hand clothes, reused. You eat bowl of snot and wear bad, ragged clothes and sleep on something. That's what that means. But it also could mean what George Orwell or Arthur Blair said. That he said, and I quote, and this is probably more relevant. Imagine the future, like a boot stomping on the human face forever. Do you remember that? What he said? I think this is more relevant here.
On the way.
Here on the way. I don't know why Switch is wearing all white. Are there like different type of devils? She's a Falasha, devil, Falasha, Zion, like from Ethiopia. So AA, I think AA means Asma Akhras, is the wife of Bashar Assad, right? Now in 1998, I don't know when she was born. I think in 1998 or 1999, she was 34 years old. Now they've come back with the wife, right? The one that's gonna, Trinity. Yeah, that's Trinity. So Trinity is Asma, the wife of Bashar, the donkey. So that's not me now, right? And now they spun him into like wool or something of the sort. So that's here, Asma Akhras. You know what? Let me look it up. No, the number 34 just doesn't make sense to me. I think 34 probably, if we're talking 1965, 70, 80, 90, 2000. I think 34, that's the age of Bashar, the donkey of Syria now. Asma Akhras, and he space 34. I think he was 34 in 1998 or 1999. So that's relevant here. So Trinity here at this very particular scene, not always, is really Asma Akhras, the one from England, the Homsi girl where I come from. Now she's taking over, and eventually she'll dispatch him into, you know where, right? This guy knows what's going on. Supposedly he sold him, he didn't sell him. He's wearing. Notice he's wearing red clothes. That's devil, man, that's evil. Oh, look at Tank. So Trinity, who's Asma Akhras here, is wearing black, so she's Jewish. I love cats. Black cat, you know what that is, right? They make a lot of superstitious notions and ideas and stories about black cats and black dogs. Some of them are true, yeah. But if you look closely here, there is some kind of a statue or two or three leaning on their side, right? Do they mean him, Neo? That he's been statuized now? If he loves cat, then that's me. Now that's me. And they're entering that same Masonic temple here, checkered floor and so on. Or the Matrix.
Deja vu.
What did you just...
So this is a construct program. This is not real here.
Deja vu.
They're pulling a stunt on him again. Now they're time to put him to the test, right?
What did you see? What happened?
A black cat went past us, and then another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same cat?
Might have been, I'm not sure.
I don't know who they mean by the cat, but if they're talking about this is Asma Akras and then he is Neo, he's the donkey Bashar. So who's the black cat? You know, I don't know. Black cat maybe his uncle, Rifat, right? Or somebody of the sort.
Switch, hey. Off.
What is it?
Deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something.
That Randango, that's where you get decapitated. Old meeting Morpheus. Pleasure to meet you. These guys don't believe in God. They hate him.
Let's go.
Notice,
Cut the heart on the track it out.
Oh no.
now you notice the box that he put down on the floor was not like two boxes on top of one box. So something's changed there. The Matrix changed things. Or the Kukukowskis did. Uh-oh. Among all, the mouse is the one to lose his life first. So you will notice Morpheus does something that's really, or all of them do something that's really not very telling behavior. Oh, you black motherfucker.
We're trapped. There's no way out.
Oh, notice, they're taking off their rabbi coat, right? Now Morpheus is no longer a rabbi.
Be calm. Give me your phone.
They'll be able to track it.
We have no choice.
Did you see the phone? The Kukukowski's rescued Cypher.
Unbelievable tank. Find a structural joint in this building.
Uh-huh.
Find the tracks.
They're on the 8th floor, so that's like Super 8 or something. Let's go back to that keyboard. I want to see it again. See, it's got all kind of symbols. There are many things in this movie I haven't like described or tried to speculate on or think of too much. I mean, I just picked up a few points and then that's the thread. If you know more than that, you will see a lot in there.
I need the main wet wall.
You missed it, didn't you? What do you think that is in the shroud and the boots? That is Mouse. Do you remember the shroud? The figure when the first Neo, the human Neo, walked in and got decapitated. Outside of that room, there was a figure in a shroud. Remember I showed you, and there was a headless torso, a figure that's standing on top of a machine supposedly, and that's feeding Morpheus and Zion. And then within, once he took the red pill, they showed you a decapitated statue. So the shroud here is a repetitive experience. See the shroud and the boots? That's poor Mouse, right? And then now you see it again. 8th floor. That's where Super 8 is, right? I from what I know is like downstairs, not upstairs. So you got 4, 3, and 2, and then there's Morpheus. But why is she wearing white? Can somebody tell me?
We're straight ahead. Neil.
Maybe that's what she likes. Uh-oh.
I hope the Oracle gave you some good news.
She gave him some real news. Now they're gonna put him into his bases, right? I think what you're gonna see next is some really telltale signs and so on, but as a matter of fact, it's fake. All right, you know what? Let's stop here for now. This is plenty of ground covered so far. And yours truly, Osama.